howling Atlantic wind cut through the outer layers of lethargy. Waves boomed against the rock, slapped against the sand, combining into a constant hissing roar. Eli dragged the house keys out of his jacket pocket, stepped onto the shelter of the wide stone portico to the massive double entrance doors hewn more than a century before from teak imported from Burma. 2 years, he thought. Closer to 3 since he'd been here. Too busy with his life, with work, with the disaster of his marriage to drive up for a weekend, a short vacation, a holiday visit with his grandmother. He'd spent time with her, of course, the indomitable Hester Hawkin Landon, whenever she'd come to Boston. He'd called her regularly, emailed, Facebooked, and Skyped. Hester might have been cruising toward 80, but she'd always embraced technology and innovation with curiosity and enthusiasm. He'd taken her to dinner, to drinks, remembered flowers and cards, gifts, gathered with her and his family for Christmas, important birthdays. And that, he thought as he unlocked the door, was all just rationalization for not taking the time, making the time to come to Whiskey Beach, to the place she loved most, and giving her real time, real attention. He found the right key, unlocked the door. Stepping inside, he flicked on the lights. She'd changed some things, he noted, but Gran embraced change even as she managed to embrace traditions that suited her. Some new art, seascapes, gardenscapes, splashing soft color against rich brown walls. He dumped his bags just inside the door, took a moment to just look around the glossy spill of the entrance hall. He scanned the stairs, the grinning gargoyle newel posts some whimsical Landon had commissioned, and up where they curved gracefully right and left for the north and south wings. Plenty of bedrooms, he thought. He just had to climb the stairs and pick one. But not yet. Instead, he walked through to what they called the main parlor with its high, arching windows facing the front garden, or what would be once winter opened its claws. His grandmother hadn't been home for over 2 months, but he didn't see a speck of dust. Logs lay in the hearth, framed by the gleam of lapis and ready to light. Fresh flowers stood on the Heppel-white table she prized. Pillows sat fluffed and welcoming on the 3 sofas ranged around the room, and the wide, planked chestnut floor gleamed like a mirror. She'd had someone come in, he decided, then rubbed his forehead where a headache threatened to bloom. She'd told him, hadn't she? Told him she had someone looking out for the place. A neighbor, someone who did the heavy cleaning for her. He hadn't forgotten she'd told him, he'd just lost the information for a moment in the fog that too often crawled in to blur his mind. Now, looking out for Bluff House was his job. To tend to it, to, as his grandmother had asked, keep life in it. And maybe, she'd said, it would pump some life back into him. He picked up his bags, looked at the stairs, then just stood. She'd been found there at the base of the steps, by a neighbor. The same neighbor? Wasn't it the same neighbor who cleaned for her? Someone, thank God, had come by to check on her and found her lying there unconscious, bruised, bleeding, with a shattered elbow, a broken hip, cracked ribs, a concussion. She might have died, he thought. The doctors expressed amazement that she'd stubbornly refused to. None of the family routinely checked on her daily. No one thought to call, and no one, including himself, would have worried if she hadn't answered for a day or 2. Hester Landon, independent, invincible, indestructible, who might have died after a terrible fall, if not for a neighbor, and her own indefatigable will. Now she reigned in a suite of rooms in his parents' home while she recovered from her injuries. There she'd stay until deemed strong enough to come back to Bluff House. Or, if his parents had their way, there she would stay, period. He wanted to think of her back here, in the house she loved.